My name is Kate and I'm a final year student at Mary Immaculate College. I'm a fairly normal student, however, my journey to getting here is not like most students. In 2016, I joined Limerick Youth Service to complete my Leaving Cert applied. Throughout these years, I got pregnant with my son, gave birth, matured and received top marks in my Leaving Cert results. 5 years on, I am still in awe at the dedication from the teachers and staff at Limerick Youth Service and how different my life would have been without them. But this is not my story, this is theirs.
My name's Ian.
Sheila.
Frankie Daly.
Erica.
It's Christopher.
My name is Catherine Clancy and we are Limerick Youth Service. I go by Ka, everybody knows me by Ka, and I'm the General Manager of the Community Training Centre.
I've joined Limerick Youth Service in 2013, part-time and now full-time. I teach woodwork, I teach maths and a variety of other subjects within the youth service, both Leaving Cert and QQI awards.
I run the restaurant here and I've done that for the last 26 and a half years.
I'm Frankie Daly. I'm a youth worker in Limerick Youth Service for the last, coming up to 14 years.
Hi, my name is Christopher and I'm 18 and I'm a current Leaving Cert applied.
My name is Erica, I'm 19 and I'm a current student in Limerick Youth Service.
I came to the youth service because there's a lot more help here and there's a lot more attention you can get, because there's like about 10 in a class or 11 instead of being like 16 in a class in other kind of schools. There is a big difference, like, because there's obviously more help and you can wear what you want, like. I'm 18, so I'm on the $220 a week and the money is so special.
I joined Limerick Youth Service in 2019 because I didn't like normal school. So I was in the bakery for 2 years with Paul, but we went into lockdown. And Paul rang me and asked what I wanted to do with my life when I left Limerick Youth Service, because I said I was going to leave after 2 years and I said I wanted to do college. So he said to go to LCA. I was iffy at the start, but I went and done it and I'm happy that I went to do it, because the teachers here, they give a lot of support and it's a lot more different to normal school as the classes are smaller.
The youth service was set up back, and actually this is our 50th year anniversary. So Limerick Youth Service itself as a service for young people around the city and county was set up 50 years ago, so in 1973, and then 10 years after that the Community Training Centre aspect of Limerick Youth Service was established. And their remit back in 1973 was to provide youth work services to young people in and around Limerick City primarily, because there was a gap identified there that there weren't any supports available for young people. Sister Joan Bowles, who was the founder of Limerick Youth Service. And it started as a very, very small service and it has grown now vastly over the 50 years, whereby now there's 100 plus staff involved in Limerick Youth Service. There's expanded from Limerick City all over to Limerick County as far as Newcastle West, Rathkeil, all areas, with engaging with over 3,500 to 4,000 young people throughout city and county in various youth clubs and youth projects.
Some people regard it as a second chance education. I don't. I just regard it as a different form of education, where it's not so rigid as a school setting and there's not such a huge emphasis on Leaving Cert grades and so on.
You get a range of people coming in. Trainees that come in that have left school for whatever reason. It can be the fact the school system failed them, they didn't like being in school, they didn't like being in classes all the time. So they do a bit of everything here. In the training centre here, like we have a bakery, we have a kitchen and a restaurant. So we have a real life restaurant. It's open to the public, so people can do breakfast, they can do lunch, and the kids here are training to clear tables, to wipe tables, to serve customers, to know how to serve a breakfast, take an order, greet people. And any job I can do inside here, they have to be able to do it too. If I can clean the coffee machine, they have to be able to do it. If I can fill the salt and peppers, they have to do it. Every job, everyone has to be able to do every job inside here. You're trying to marry the situation with the fact that they're leaving the school system, but they need to become an adult. So you're kind of the in-between part. So you do get a certain, there's days it's frustration, don't get me wrong, there are certain days, but small things will make your day as well. And that it's not necessarily all about the culinary skills, it's about life skills. We go in first name terms. We're not Miss or Mr. or anything else, and they relate to us as a person.
My favourite thing about Limerick Youth Service is there's a lot more breaks, and they're nice in here.
More different. Like, they give you a choice on what to do in here, and if you don't want to do it, they'll make you do it, but they won't push you as much as they do in normal school. And if you don't feel comfortable doing it, then they'll break it down for you even more.
There's a small percentage that are geniuses. We're all roughly around the same. It's about application and dedication. So it's about getting structure and getting that repetitive commitment into education. The sky's the limit for every young person. And I think a lot of the time young people don't have that confidence, but they have that. We all have it within us, like, you know. So as I said, there's a couple of rocket scientists, but across the board we're all fairly equal, you know. But it's about whether we're willing to kind of dedicate and maybe put our heads into the books or make a few life changes. And I suppose that's the role of the likes of the Limerick Youth Service.
It's good to get up early and have a routine going to the Limerick Youth Service.
Ooh. I think the most challenging thing is seeing the potential and seeing the strengths that lie within any young person that comes in here, and them not seeing it.
It makes you feel like you're wanted as a person. It makes you feel good about yourself, and you don't feel like you have too much pressure on your shoulders.
I think the government need to wake up and see that school system is not the way forward for everybody. Okay, it's not a one size fits all. There's lots of schools that are very good, there's lots of teachers that are very good, but there are certain pupils that school does not suit them. So they need to find other ways of educating young people. They need to stop and listen to us who are working with people like that and see that there are other ways of going things, and they are equally as important, our way, as the mainstream education.
The likes of the Limerick Youth Service and other such agencies, you know, they're a place for young people, you know, in the most difficult of circumstances to be supported and you know, given some support in the most difficult of times. So I think it's critically important.
And I think that whilst the government have taken great strides in adopting, I suppose, some level of flexibility towards the delivery of education and training up and down the country, I think they need to listen more to what our young people in the CTC and our staff and our organisation and similar organisations are saying. So, because at the end of the day, we're on the forefront, we know what works. So we would like that, rather than the government trying to get us to fit into their systems, listen more to what we're saying, to what works, and have a more collaborative approach.
Independent contributors such as JP McManus has had a transformative effect on Limerick Youth Service and the young people it serves. Thanks to his generosity, the service has been able to provide a safe and supportive environment for thousands of young people to learn, grow and thrive. These independent contributors make up for the lack of government support.
So, like, in terms of JP, that building wouldn't be built there. That's a state-of-the-art building. The actual headquarters, that's JP as well. Like, so the pro-am every year, you know, if we're talking millions of euro through JP, a lot of the stuff that isn't even kind of highlighted and stuff like that. So JP has a keen interest in young people and supporting, you know, the most kind of disadvantaged youths.
Sometimes you may not get funding what's appropriate. They don't really always know what's going on in the settings in these places. I think they need to get involved and they need to see more what the learners are producing and what they are doing and what their outcomes are from here.
I would say, now how they describe it I don't know, but how would I describe it? I would say I have a very open relationship with the young people here. Like, they're central to everything, you know, and I tell them that daily, and the staff tell them that daily. But my door is always open. People even tell me I should close it, but I don't, because I do think, that, I don't know, I suppose metaphorically putting it, there's been too many doors shut in the faces of many of these young people.
Getting to know kids on a daily basis, interacting with them, not just purely on an educational setting, getting to know them personally, because you build up a rapport with the kids then, and you tend to find that you get better results when you have a decent relationship with them.
My relationship with the teachers and obviously my friends are good, but like some days I come in here and moan and I'm not doing this, but you have to get over it.
We're not just training them inside here, we become part of their life as well. So I think on a whole, and they'll all say the same thing, they get to talk to us rather than we looking down at them or telling them what to do all the time. They get to be on the same par, the same level as us, and that suits them far better, because there's enough times in life that people are looking down their nose at them. They don't need that.
It's good. I feel comfortable talking to them. I know if I have a problem I can go and speak to them and tell them what's going on, and they wouldn't make a big deal out of it. They'd actually talk to me like I'm a normal human being and not just a robot sitting in a class.
At least if you're going to do it, don't go, you can't see it. Have a bit of cop on, like.
I would say that I would be completely at sea without the team that I work with, without a doubt. That every one of them brings something to the Community Training Centre, and they're there as a support for all of us. So in order for the whole system to work, we have to really gel and work together as a team, because I would get days here that I would find very, very challenging. But then to be able to sit and either just bounce something off a staff person or a group, or even just go across to the restaurant, have a cup of coffee and just unwind and have a chat, that's key. It really, really is. And I think, that this isn't a one-man show by any means. None of us here could do all of this on our own. It can only work if we work together as a team, and I would support my team as best as I can. And likewise, if I asked any of them, look, I'm struggling here, and I would never be afraid to say that, I need someone to come and give a hand, I've never been refused, so it's privilege like that. I think that's brilliant.
That is your saving grace inside here. That is definitely your saving grace, because we come in here in the morning, we come in here at 8:30 in the morning, and there's normally a cohort of 4 or 5 or 6 of us here, and no matter how you're feeling, we'll always pick each other up, and you'll always know when there's something wrong with somebody, and we rally for each other.
We all work together and fellow staff in the youth service, so there is a good camaraderie there. Obviously there's people from different backgrounds. There's people who are teachers from a purely educational background, and then there's more vocational members of staff who come with a skill from a particular industry. But generally we all do work well. We try to get on, and there's, obviously there's meetings where we discuss what can we do better, what can we improve on, and so on. But generally the staff all tend to want this place to achieve the highest quality that we can. Favourite memory of mine, or probably the best memory of mine, is probably the very first groups that I taught, because I did come from a mainstream school and I just didn't really know what to expect. And for all of them to achieve something, they all got level 3s and level 4s in woodwork, and also they achieved in maths and were getting full awards. I think to me it was a surprise, because like we have said before, there is sometimes a stigma attached that the people coming in here are not going to achieve anything, or not going to do anything further than on this. But to see that actually they were achieving, I think was very rewarding.
When you get somebody that is now out working and is working full time and has learned a few of the lessons from you, it might be 1 or 2 life skills, but when they do that, that to me is good memories. When you get those kids that come back that are just, or this guy, he did that painting up the wall just there. He's now 34, he'll still come back in to check is his painting still on the wall. And they're memories that you don't forget.
I remember going in the first day as a substitute teacher, and it was actually to the school that I went to myself. I was going to be class teacher to a new first year group, and I was told they were on the lowest stream, so not to worry about teaching them, just to try and contain them within the group. And I thought, like, oh my God, how can someone say that to me on my first day, and how can someone say that about a group? You cannot judge a book by its cover, you know, and just because somebody in a classroom isn't sitting down, or because somebody is being mouthy back, doesn't mean that they're trying to, you know, just disrupt everything. It just might be that they're making noise because they need to be listened to, or that they're not understanding what's being taught to them. The job offer came up for here, an opportunity, and I knew about Limerick Youth Service, and I thought, you know what, this is where those young people that have already been told there's nothing can be done with you, this is where they'll be believed in.
Without a doubt, I would not be where I am today without the immense care and support I received from the teachers at Limerick Youth Service. Because of the unwavering dedication of those who work tirelessly behind the scenes of Limerick Youth Service, we wanted to give back and say thank you.
Probably at home doing nothing, lazy. My plans thereafter is probably might do a course up in Kimmallock Road with the gym, and because I like all that kind of stuff, like.
I'd probably be just working in a shop or something, something I wouldn't be happy with. Like, I wouldn't be as far as I am in life now. I'd still be probably just sitting at home. I plan on going to college in September in CCL to do a healthcare sport.
Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. So take the photographs and still frames in your mind, hanging on a shelf in good health and good time. Tattoos of memories and dead skin on trial. For what it's worth, it was worth all the while. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life.